One important thing I would say to kids my age about if they want to start a business is that's where the risk factor comes, a risk factor, and it's risky. 99% risk. It's risk. I mean, if you fail, you have to fail to learn. Entrepreneurship equals failure. You're going to be scared to fail. Every opportunity you fail is an opportunity to learn. But that's business. You're going to fail. Nothing's going to happen. I saw something on Instagram today. A successful business that grows fast builds your ego. But if you have a successful business over time, it builds your wisdom. So if you have a business that grows fast, you're going to, I got a big ego, I'm successful. But you have a business that takes multiple years to build, you're going to have wisdom because you know all the hard work it took. So the motto of this world, go to college for 4 years, have the best time of your life. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about a job. Don't worry about anything else besides having fun in college, getting your education, whatever. But I think, in my opinion, that's backwards. Right now, these 4 years, everyone's having fun in college. I'm working hard. So when they're 40 years old, working with their 9-to-5 job, I'm retired. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to get haters. If you're successful, you're going to get haters. But I mean, even scratch that. If you're a human being on this earth, you're going to get haters. No matter what you do, someone's not going to agree with you. It's just human nature. No one's, they're not going to agree with you. They're not going to. You always have to have money liquid. And obviously, liquidity is obviously having money on the side. Most kids in high school thought it was awesome. But there'd be some kids, that's stupid. You make money off YouTube. You don't even work. You don't work hard. And I'm just like looking at them. And the question I ask is, would you rather work at McDonald's, let's just say 9 to 5 and make $60, or would you rather sit at home on your computer and make thousands of dollars? And of course, like, well, I'd rather do that. But I don't agree. You don't work hard enough for that anyways. So not necessarily respect I don't get, but like the adults when I'm in, my business meetings, they kind of like, they're like, does this kid know what he's talking about? He's only 19, 20 at the time, or 19 at the time, but 20 now. And just like I said, the first podcast, you will not know if it's going to be a successful business until you try. One important thing I would say to kids my age about if they want to start a business is if it's really a passion, if you enjoy that sector where a shirt brand or whatever, making stuff, and you enjoy it, that should be your validation to keep going. In entrepreneurship, you're going to have to change sometimes the way you live. So for example, like the coffee thing and stocks, investments. If you spend $200 a month on coffee, let's just say, which is pretty crazy, but let's just say $200 coffee, energy drinks, whatever it is. And you take that $200 and you throw it into a certain stock. Over time, let's just say over time, the stock gets a 12% ROI. Over time, you're going to be making money with that. That money's going to stocks that's making you money. That $200 you're putting into coffee and energy drinks is not making you money. So I'm working hard now, so I don't got to worry about it later. So I'm realistic. I'm doing it for myself, but I'm doing it for my future self, my future kids, my future wife, whatever that may look like. And that's what gives me like motivation every day is I'm doing it for my future self, future kids, future wife. I'm not partying right now for my future kids and wife. I'm working hard for them so they can enjoy their life. Don't spend money realistically on like your monthly salary or whatever. Let's say like your income, it's spending on your assets, which your investment stocks is an asset. So if you put $1,000 in and you're making $1,000 a month off stocks, you can leave that original 1,000 in there. And let's say you wanted to spend that extra 1,000 you made, you're using your assets on stuff and you're still making your monthly income. Right. So realistically, you're doing just fine. The life of this earth. Yeah. If you're not grown up religiously, it's just whatever the world tells you. And if you are, like, you're still going to almost confine to the world because it's so loud because everyone.
It's so loud. That's a good way to put it, dude.
Oh yeah. It's very loud. If it's hard, it's for a reason. So in terms of faith, like it's hard to stay consistent. Like I told you last week, full week, I was consistent reading the Bible and then I took 4 days off. Don't know why. It's tough, but it's worth it at the end. Mm-hmm. It's tough for a reason because it's going to be worth it. So, and the one thing with entrepreneurship that people have to understand is it's different than a normal business or not a normal business, a normal job, a 9-to-5 job, let's say. 9-to-5 job, you're promised a salary, you're promised an hourly wage. You go to work, you get paid. Entrepreneurship, you can go a couple months without making money. Entrepreneurship is not comfortable. Like I said in the first podcast, you're going to be very uncomfortable. There's, like I said, you're going to have months where you don't make money. So you're going to be very uncomfortable. Or a normal job, you're getting paid, you're promised, where this is different. It's not easy as people think it is, but it's rewarding. Obviously, it's very rewarding, but it's a risk.
You may go months without making money.
Yeah.
So you may go.
Nothing's promised like a normal 9-to-5 job.
Big risk, big reward.
Exactly.
Right.
I've started businesses that I didn't enjoy, and I could tell that they weren't going to go, they didn't go anywhere because I didn't enjoy it. I had no passion for it. But companies I have passion for, you'll make it happen. I promise you. You have to take people's opinions and kind of just listen to them and see if they can help you. But you just got to keep going. And it's one, you're going to be scared to fail. Everyone's just scared. They don't want to make a business and then fail, and everyone's gonna be like, oh, well, that didn't work out, and laugh at you. That's the biggest thing for sure. People don't even want to build a business because they're scared. You're scared to make a business, and it's risky. You can throw money at it and lose it. You can lose your ego if you have one. You know what I mean? If you fail, and there could be opportunities where you're like, I quit. And what happens if that was your $1 million idea? You don't know until you try. And that's my motto: is every company I have now, I take it as far as they possibly can until I know it's dead, because you never know. That's the key word. You never know if that's going to be your successful business or your successful story.
Millions of people out there never even tried.
Exactly. And I have mad respect for people that try, because it's going back to the fail. People don't even want to start because they're scared of failing. And that's the first problem. And then they finally get it and like, all right, cool, I've started. And then one problem comes up and they're like, I quit. And that's what's crazy now is when you see a successful company or someone that's successful in a certain area, you just see what their business is now. You don't see all the hard work and lost nights of sleep and just them being anxious and scared. You know what I mean? And that's what people don't even see with me, is there's like, oh, you got all these followers. They don't even know what I've done to get there and all the troubles and everything. You know what I mean? They just
the hours.
Exactly. And for Germany, for example, what happens if I would have quit in my room? You know what I mean? Like we would be having a total different conversation in terms of that. It's awesome to look back and say, I'm so happy I made that choice to keep going.
A new one.
You have to fail to learn, to make yourself better, make your company better.
And you said you've had some failed ideas and some failed businesses.
Oh yeah, I've had plenty. And that's also an interesting part, is people don't see that. Of course, I'm not posting on Instagram, hey, look at my failed business, or hey, look, one of my businesses failed. Of course, I'm not doing that, because I've had multiple businesses that have failed, multiple businesses I put a lot of money in that failed. But the best part is I've learned through every business. At least I've learned something from that business. For example, if I'm hiring a lawyer, now I know how to work with a lawyer for the future. And just other failures, working with partners. I had a company that I had partners with, and it didn't go too well. So I learned to, pick my partners wisely in terms of my businesses. So every opportunity you fail is an opportunity to learn. So honestly, when I fail, it sucks, but I like it because I learned something from it. So in the future, I don't make it again, which is awesome. Are they the right partners for this business? Because they could be a right partner for another business, but this specific business I had, it didn't work out well. You always have to have money liquid. And obviously, liquidity is obviously having money on the side. And that's for multiple reasons. One's to keep yourself safe. So if anything happens personally, you can afford it. But also if another business opportunity comes up, say you throw all your money in one opportunity and another great opportunity comes up, but you have no more money, then that opportunity is going to fly away. I see a lot of kids my age, and this is a great question because the EDD factor. A lot of my kids my age are getting EDD if they worked at, the EDD check because they worked somewhere and they got fired or company went down. They're taking that money and they're going to eat at nice restaurants and all this stuff. And they ask me, Cody, well, how do I invest? How this? And this is a simple question I tell them. Stop taking your $200 and throwing it at a nice dinner. When kids my age.
What is a CPA?
Certified public accountant, I believe it's called.
That's what it is. The world is based on get a life means spend all your money.
Yeah.
That's what the world tells us.
Yeah. And kind of funny to go. And I actually worked in the mortgage business right after I dropped out of school for a couple months, which I learned a lot from that. And that was awesome because I was there 4 months and learned so much. In terms of, I didn't fail. I left, but I learned a lot. So I noticed in that was people would be trying to apply for houses. They would make, let's say, $5,000 a month, and they're spending $5,000 a month. I think the national average is like a couple. I don't even know what it is, but a normal American family, doesn't save any money a month, or if they do, it's very little. Mm-hmm. So if an emergency comes up, and back to the saving and not spending, I have our life laid out. So me, I have my life laid out. Really, I do. Like, I think I have my life laid out of how I want it to happen. But God, I'm pretty sure has maybe a couple of different things that I don't have on there. So kind of like that. He knows what your life is, like it or not. Whatever you think you want it to be, it might be different of what God wants. You know what I mean? Maybe in a couple of years, God's like, I don't want you to do YouTube anymore. I'm taking your YouTube down because that's not a part of your long-term life goal.
Okay, so do you have faith that his decision is going to be better anyway?
Oh, 100%. If he
Okay.
takes my YouTube down tomorrow, I know it's for a reason.
A bigger reason than what YouTube would have done for you.
Yeah. And I have to, even though it's hard, I have to respect that. And I like living my life like that now, where it's, even with girls, relationships, friends, all that, if someone leaves, I believe everything happens for a reason. So if they leave, it obviously wasn't a part of the plan. And that's kind of the way I live life.
So God's plan's better than your plan,
Oh,
Cody?
100% agree. I 100 million% agree. Even though it's hard at first to see, like, why did you take that person away? Why did you take my company? Why are you making my life miserable for these 2 months when it was good? Whatever it has a purpose. And I saw that at the beginning. I quit school and I was miserable, and I'm seeing the purpose lay out right now.
All right, guys. So this is Anthony N.
This is Cody.
And we're signing off.
Signing off. Thank you, everyone.
See you again in a couple weeks.
Woo!